pleasure meeting last week from Maniwaki Reserve, and also Bob Lovelace, who retired chief of the Ardok First Nation. Bob is instrumental in leading a fight against the uranium mining industry, and I think you've been successful so far, even though you did have a stay in a very unpleasant place, I believe. And I'd also like to thank Paul Renault for his tireless work. He has been instrumental in bringing this to the forefront, and I believe without him and his fellow, how would I say that, his colleagues, I will say, it wouldn't have happened. You know, he has coalition. It's coalition, okay. And I really want to thank you for bringing this to our attention and that, and it has united the Algonquin people, as I said, as well as everyone else around here and the Gwich'in.
A few of us started some time ago to speak as a voice for the forest that couldn't speak. I don't think we realized that we were actually starting to speak for a new voice of Canada. And over the last year, it became obvious, in fact, that we were. And it's a fulfillment of the teachings that our elders gave us. Grandfather Dumont and Grandfather William Commanda brought into focus for us that it is our relationship with the land that really makes us thrive, and it's through that we're unified. A magic from the sacred fire this week brought about a unity of the Algonquin nation. And that's no small feat from what I've been led to understand. And it occurred because everyone focused on their relationship with Mother Earth and questioned what was going on and reached in their hearts the right conclusion. This is a powerful teaching, and it's a teaching we need to bring to the province of Ontario. And I call upon our Premier, Dalton McGuinty. This forest is in his backyard, and I ask him to also renew his relationship with the land and to start asking questions. And in asking those questions, to bring about the justice that is clearly in need here. This forest was designated as a candidate area of natural and scientific interest 20 years ago. McGuinty should ask, why is it the Ministry of Natural Resources, after 20 years, has not actually completed the review of this forest? This goes beyond an embarrassment to the government. It calls into question the very priorities of the Ministry of Natural Resources. How is it they could take 20 years to acknowledge a provincially significant woodland? Dalton McGuinty perhaps should also ask his Minister of Culture, how is it that obvious artifacts and cultural heritage of the Anishinaabe people have been ignored? There was a report in the media that was printed that was in error. We have physical evidence, and we are waiting to present it to a licensed archaeologist when he appears, an independent one that doesn't have an axe to grind. And we will do so when that day comes. Perhaps Dalton McGuinty should ask his Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs, how is it that they ignore the Planning Act that says that thou shalt not cut down a provincially significant woodland? It's against the Planning Act. It's against the provincial policy statement. What is wrong with the priorities of this government? Do they need to refocus on their relationship with the land? I think so. And perhaps the Dalton McGuinty should question his Ministry of the Environment and ask, how is it that the stormwater management plan for this area is allowed to divert water across a watershed where nowhere else in Ontario that's allowed? Again, it speaks to the misplaced priorities of those in power. And those priorities are misplaced because they've lost sight of their relationship with the land. And they would do well to learn of the teachings of these elders and of this example of the sacred fire that has brought into focus so much. And Mayor Watson, as he starts out in his new term, would do well to renew his relationship with the land and to ask, why is it that the city officials are in such a hurry to cut down this forest when so many laws have been broken, so many laws have been ignored, and the Environmental Bill of Rights for Ontario is being desecrated in the process? Do our laws mean nothing to the city? It is time for the City Council, and for the Mayor and the planning officials to renew their focus and to question their relationship with the land and to find themselves again. There's a handful of us here today, but each of us represents 1,000 people. There are many people now calling for a new voice. We are a new voice of Canada. This is our home, and it is our native land.